What do you get when you mix 11 time zones? Boiling volcanoes, frozen villages, a tea obsession, and enough land to rival Pluto. You get a country like no other, Russia. It's vast, it's wild, it's extreme in every sense. And today, you're going to discover 15 of the most mind-boggling, unbelievable, and straight-up strange facts about this enigmatic giant. So grab your ushanka and pour yourself a steaming cup of chai, because we're heading deep into the weird, wonderful world of Russia. Before we dive in, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below telling us the craziest fact you've ever heard about Russia. Let's go! Number 15. Russia is bigger than Pluto? Let's start big. Literally. Russia is massive. It spans over 17.1 million square kilometers, stretching across 2 continents, 11 time zones, and touching 13 seas. It's so big that it takes up more than 1/8 of Earth's inhabited land area. But here's where it gets truly mind-blowing. Russia is bigger than Pluto. Yep, Pluto, the icy dwarf planet that orbits the Sun in the far reaches of our solar system, has a surface area of only about 16.7 million square kilometers. That means one single country on Earth is larger than an entire planet-like body in space. Think about that. You could fit Pluto inside Russia, and still have room to spare for a Siberian snowstorm. It's not just the largest country in the world, it's planet-sized. Number 14. Fire beneath the ice. Russia's active volcanoes. While much of Russia is frozen solid, the Kamchatka Peninsula in the Far East tells a very different story, one of fire and fury. This rugged, remote land is home to more than 160 volcanoes, with 29 still active, making it one of the most volcanically active regions on Earth. Kamchatka is a geological wonder where glaciers and lava flows coexist, creating some of the most dramatic landscapes imaginable. Among these fiery giants stands Klyuchevskaya Sopka, the tallest and most active volcano in Eurasia. Rising to 4,750 meters, it's been erupting almost non-stop for the past 7,000 years, making it one of the world's oldest continually active volcanoes. Locals regard it with both awe and fear, and with good reason. The peninsula is part of the Pacific Ring of Fire, a tectonic zone notorious for its seismic activity. Rarely visited and mostly untouched, Kamchatka remains a living laboratory for volcanologists and a surreal destination for adventure seekers. Number 13. Lake Baikal, Earth's giant freshwater vault. Tucked away in the remote wilderness of Siberia lies a lake so extraordinary it almost seems unreal. Welcome to Lake Baikal, the deepest, oldest, and clearest freshwater lake on Earth. At over 5,387 feet deep, Baikal holds the title of the deepest lake in the world. But that's just the beginning. It also contains about 20% of the planet's unfrozen fresh water. More than all of North America's Great Lakes combined. Lake Baikal is home to around 3,700 species of plants and animals, most of which exist nowhere else. One of its most iconic residents is the Baikal seal, or Nerpa, the only exclusively freshwater seal on the planet. In winter, the lake freezes solid with crystal-clear ice that stretches for miles, thick enough to drive across. Locals even race cars and hold festivals on it. Part sacred, part scientific marvel, Lake Baikal is more than just a lake. It's nature's hidden treasure chest, and Russia's got it. Number 12. The Trans-Siberian Railway. An iron giant. Russia is so massive, it needs a train line that spans 5,772 miles, the longest railway in the world. The Trans-Siberian Railway connects Moscow to Vladivostok, taking 7 days non-stop to cross. It passes through 8 time zones, 87 cities, and over 3,900 bridges. That's not just travel. That's a full-on cross-continental odyssey on steel wheels. Construction on the Trans-Siberian Railway started in 1891 and was completed in 1916, which means it took 25 years to build. Isn't that crazy? Some tourists have spent even up to 50 hours inside of the longest train line in the world. Apart from this, the Trans-Siberian Railway even connects to China and Mongolia, so if you have a desire to visit those countries as well, this is a right place for you to visit and experience. Number 11. Oymyakon, the coldest inhabited place on Earth. How cold can it really get? In Oymyakon, a tiny village in Siberia, the thermometer once dropped to a bone-chilling -67.7 degrees Celsius. The coldest temperature ever recorded in a permanently inhabited settlement. Located in the Sakha Republic, Oymyakon is home to just under 1,000 residents who live in conditions that most of us can't even imagine. During winter, cars must be kept running or stored in heated garages, or the engines will freeze solid. Eyelashes frost in seconds, and boiling water turns into ice crystals in mid-air, a famous party trick among locals. Yet life continues. Children go to school unless it's colder than -52 degrees Celsius. People herd reindeer, fish through thick ice, and hunt in the snow-covered forests. Houses are built with extra insulation, and residents eat a diet rich in meat and fat, such as frozen raw fish called stroganina, perfect for keeping warm. Interestingly, the name Oymyakon comes from a local word meaning non-freezing water, named after a nearby thermal spring that never freezes. An ironic twist, considering its reputation. People here still manages to smile, even if that smile freezes instantly. Number 10. There's 11 different time zones, Russia's temporal patchwork. Russia is so vast, it spans 11 time zones, more than any other country on Earth. That means when it's 8 a.m. in Moscow, it's already 7 p.m. in Kamchatka. You can literally fly for 8 hours across Russia and still be in the same country, and on a completely different clock. Managing this temporal sprawl isn't easy. Imagine trying to broadcast national TV, coordinate railway schedules, or host a company-wide video call. Some Russians have even joked that time travel is real. You just need a train ticket. These 11 time zones stretch from Kaliningrad, a tiny exclave near Poland, all the way to the Commander Islands in the Pacific Ocean. The diversity across these zones is stunning. From European-style cities to Arctic outposts, each region experiences sunrise and sunset at completely different hours. In fact, until 2011, Russia had more than 11 time zones, but the government reduced them temporarily to 8 time zones for administrative ease, only to restore them due to public demand. Few countries can say that one sunrise greets people in 11 different moments. Russia can, and does. Number 9. Tea over vodka. Russia's true national drink. Think Russia, and you probably think vodka. But in everyday life, tea reigns supreme. Russians drink tea 6 times more than Americans on average. It's not just a beverage, it's a ritual, a social glue, and a source of comfort. A traditional Russian home almost always features a samovar, a metal urn used to heat water for tea, often adorned with decorative motifs and passed down through generations. Tea is typically strong and black, served in glasses or porcelain cups, and often enjoyed with jam instead of sugar, a sweet quirk known as varenya. It's accompanied by everything from biscuits and dried fruits to dark rye bread with cheese or honey. Afternoon tea in Russia can stretch for hours, filled with stories, laughter, and a steady refill of hot water. Even in the workplace or on a train, tea is the go-to drink. Offering a guest tea is a mark of hospitality. Refusing it might even be seen as rude. Number 8. The Ural Mountains, older than dinosaurs. The Ural Mountains stretch over 2,500 kilometers from the Arctic Ocean in the north to the steppes of Kazakhstan in the south. But what's even more impressive? They're estimated to be over 300 million years old, making them older than the dinosaurs, and one of the oldest mountain ranges on Earth. The Urals aren't towering giants like the Himalayas. They peak at a modest 1,895 meters. But their importance goes far beyond altitude. These mountains form the natural boundary between Europe and Asia, making them both a geological divide and a cultural crossroads. Standing on one side, you're in Europe. Take a few steps, and you're in Asia. The range is also rich in minerals, so much so that it's nicknamed Russia's treasure chest. It holds massive reserves of iron, copper, gold, platinum, and even rare gems like alexandrite and demantoid. For centuries, these resources fueled Russia's industrial power. Culturally, the Urals have inspired generations of Russian poets, painters, and explorers. They feature in myths and legends and remain a symbol of strength and resilience. Number 7. Живописный Bridge. Moscow's Crimson Wonder. Spanning the Moskva River in West Moscow is a structure that looks like it was pulled from a sci-fi movie, the Живописный Bridge. The name means picturesque, and it lives up to the hype, with a massive crimson arch that soars 105 meters high and supports the main deck with sleek steel cables. Opened in 2007, it's the tallest cable-stayed bridge in Europe, and one of the most unusual. But the real star of the show is the futuristic glass pod suspended beneath the arch. Originally intended to house a restaurant or event space, the pod remains unused, adding an air of mystery and imagination to the already cinematic skyline. The bridge is more than just eye candy. It's also functional, easing traffic flow across a busy part of the city. At night, it lights up in vivid reds and purples, making it a favorite for photographers and drone enthusiasts. If Iron Man built a bridge in Moscow, this is what it would look like. Number 6. Russia's homicide rate is higher than America. A stark reality. Not all fascinating facts are cheerful, and this one casts a serious shadow. Russia's homicide rate is about twice that of the United States, despite years of decline since the lawless days of the 1990s. It's a sobering reminder that beneath the country's vast beauty and culture lie some deep-rooted social issues. In the chaotic years following the Soviet Union's collapse, violent crime surged. Gang warfare, organized crime, and corrupt law enforcement made the 1990s a dangerous time, especially in urban centers like Moscow and St. Petersburg. While the situation has improved significantly, the effects of that turbulent era still linger. According to recent data, men are significantly more likely to be both victims and perpetrators, with many cases tied to alcohol-related disputes. That said, Russia has made strides in reducing crime through reforms and stricter law enforcement, especially in major cities. Tourists generally find urban areas safe, though caution is always advised. This fact isn't here to scare, it's here to humanize. Number 5. Russians drink twice as many shots as Americans. Vodka isn't just a drink in Russia, it's a cultural institution. While the West may sip socially, Russians shoot with purpose. According to global studies, Russians consume nearly twice as many shots per week as Americans. And in Russia, a shot usually means vodka. But it's not about getting drunk. It's about ritual and tradition. Vodka is served at birthdays, weddings, funerals, business deals, and even casual dinners. There's often a designated toastmaster, and every shot is preceded by a heartfelt or humorous toast. Refusing to drink after a toast? That's a serious social faux pas. In most Russian homes, there's always a bottle of vodka in the freezer, just in case. It's believed to kill germs, cure colds, calm nerves, and bring people together. There are even customs around how to drink. No mixing, no ice, and no sipping. So while the stereotype holds some truth, it's more than a punchline. It's part of the cultural DNA. In Russia, vodka isn't just alcohol, it's a language. Number 4. Most of Russia is empty. Russia may be the largest country on Earth, but most of it is astonishingly empty. Despite covering 17.1 million square kilometers, Russia has a population of just over 145 million, meaning its population density is among the lowest in the world. More than 75% of Russians live west of the Ural Mountains in the European part of the country. That leaves the vast Siberian and Far Eastern territories sparsely inhabited. A world of forests, tundra, mountains, and permafrost stretching for thousands of kilometers. You can fly for hours over Siberia without seeing a single city, road, or even village. Of Russia's 1,100-plus cities, only 15 have populations over 1 million. Outside these urban hubs, there are entire regions where people are outnumbered by bears, moose, and wolves. In places like Yakutia or Chukotka, settlements are separated by hundreds of kilometers, often accessible only by helicopter or ice road. This emptiness gives Russia a uniquely mystical quality, a land of isolation, untouched wilderness, and haunting silence. Number 3. Russia's billionaire club is richer than countries. If wealth is power, Russia's billionaire class holds an empire's worth. The 20 richest Russians have a combined net worth of over $227 billion, more than the GDP of entire countries like Pakistan, Hungary, or New Zealand. This elite club includes names like Vladimir Putin, Leonid Mikhelson, and Alexei Mordashov, who control vast chunks of Russia's oil, gas, steel, banking, and tech sectors. Many of these billionaires rose to power during the 1990s Wild East privatization spree, when state assets were rapidly sold off after the collapse of the Soviet Union. With insider access, clever maneuvering, and sometimes brutal tactics, they became the new czars of the Russian economy. Today, their influence extends far beyond business. These oligarchs own media empires, fund political campaigns, and shape foreign policy. Some even have private armies, yachts the size of warships, and properties scattered across Europe and Dubai. Russia's richest don't just live in luxury, they help define the nation's economic and political landscape. In Russia, money talks, and it speaks very, very loudly. Number 2. Russia's oil and gas reserves could power the whole world. If energy is the lifeblood of modern civilization, Russia has an artery the size of a continent. The country holds the largest proven natural gas reserves on the planet, enough to fill 13.2 billion Olympic-sized swimming pools and over 87 billion barrels of oil. At current usage rates, that's enough energy to last another 75 years. Russia is the top natural gas exporter in the world and among the top 3 producers of oil. Its vast network of pipelines, including the famous Nord Stream and Druzhba pipelines, extends across Europe and Asia. In fact, if stretched out end to end, Russia's pipeline system could wrap around the Earth 6 times. Energy is more than just an export. It's a political tool. Many European countries rely heavily on Russian gas to heat homes and power industries, which gives the Kremlin enormous leverage in global diplomacy. So when Russia talks about energy security, the world listens. Because few nations have the power to heat a continent, fund a superpower, and influence global policy, all with what lies beneath their soil. Number 1. In Russia, smiling at strangers is suspicious. In much of the world, a smile is a simple, friendly gesture. But in Russia, smiling at strangers can be seen as suspicious. Here, smiles are not handed out like candy, they must be earned. This cultural quirk has deep historical and psychological roots. Under Soviet rule, people were taught to value seriousness, restraint, and honesty. A smile without a clear reason could be interpreted as false, manipulative, or naive. Even today, Many Russians believe that smiling constantly is either a sign of foolishness or hiding something. Instead, Russians smile with purpose and sincerity. In contrast to Western service with a smile norms, Russian service staff aren't expected to grin at every customer. And many locals find overly cheery strangers a bit unsettling. It may seem cold at first, but once you understand it, it's oddly refreshing. In Russia, people prize authenticity over appearance, depth over politeness. So if a Russian smiles at you, they probably really like you. In the land of icy landscapes, warmth is rare, but real. Russia is more than just the clichés we see in movies. It's a country of ancient mountains and modern billionaires, freezing cold and fiery volcanoes, tea ceremonies and train odysseys, silence and power. It's mysterious, majestic, and often misunderstood, and that's what makes it so endlessly fascinating. If you were amazed by even one of these facts, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who loves to learn about the world's hidden wonders. Until next time, das vidanya, and stay curious.